What's up, you beautiful people? My name is Andy Dew, and this is my wife, Holly Dew.
And we're Do It To It.
Alright, so in today's episode, we are going to be trying out a new product that we just got ourselves.
Buddy!
Mr. Buddy. It's a portable heater that's apparently good for indoor and outdoor. So we're gonna crack this bad boy open, and we're gonna do it to a test.
We're gonna do it to it.
A test.
We're gonna do it to it.
So we're gonna put this thing to the test. We purchased an outside portable building, and it's a 12 by 24, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 12 by 24 building, and we have not turned the heat on in this thing yet, and we have had a cold snap in Kentucky, and like the other day it was like 5 degrees. Tonight it's looking like it's around 30 degrees. Inside the building right now is sitting at 40. So we're going to plug this thing up. We're going to turn it on, see how long it takes to heat up this building, and to see if it would be able to help you if there's a power outage or anything like that, because that's one thing I'm always worried about.
I do craft shows, and I did one in Nashville in November, and it was a Christmas one. And I'm not thinking, when I signed up for it in July, when it's hot, that it's an outside show. Had no idea. I froze to death. I was freezing the entire weekend.
But let's talk more so about how it's 26 degrees in Nashville, and she's wearing tennis shoes with ankle socks and then like leggings, so it's like that much of her ankle showing. Here's a picture. How long is this thing supposed to run?
It says it's supposed to run for 5.4 hours on low and then roughly 2.5 on high. So that would at least get us some time to go, and that's just on one propane tank. If you get a couple of them, then you're good for a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and see what we got here. What are some other specs on this thing that you read?
It says that it should heat up to 225 square feet. That's a pretty large area, especially when I just need it to heat up my legs and feet at craft shows. But definitely nice to have in the house. You can for sure heat up the room that you're in. It might not heat up the entire house, but the room that you're in.
What they suggest with this is, if there is a power outage, is that you isolate to one room and you put everybody in the same room. Block off all doorways and stuff like that. Make sure it's vented. Isolate to one room so body heat and everything is isolated, and you're not trying to heat an entire house. You're just trying to heat that one room, and you should be good, even though you got it vented with a window or something like that. So be smart, but also be warm.
I want to make sure that I know how to use this, because sometimes he's not able to come up with me on craft shows, and so I just want to know how to do this safely. And so if it passes the I'm terrified to do this test, then that'll be good too, because I don't want to be nervous while I'm heating something.
I like that this thing is completely built in, just ready to go, honestly.
It doesn't feel that heavy either.
It's
like
really
I
not.
feel like I could take this places.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the propane tank is going to add some weight to it, but it doesn't feel extremely heavy.
Now pretty much what you got to do is, looks like you just have to hook up the propane tank. Do you want to read the instructions to make sure that's all we have to do?
Yeah.
We just want to know that, hey, if the power goes out, can it heat our house? Is it going to keep us safe? Is it going to run for a while? Is it easy to use that way if I'm not here, that she could easily run it and keep our kids safe? That's the main thing we're doing here. And the next thing that we're probably going to do is figure out how to plug this thing up. I'm going to go ahead and open up the propane tanks and see what the instructions say. Oh, it's got little screw holes so you can put it on the wall of your shop or something.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you have like a shop that you need to keep warm, you can put little screw holes here. And apparently this doesn't get hot enough where, I don't know if I'd trust that or not, but you can apparently put this on your shop wall and keep your garage or your shop or whatever done.
Okay.
So the little thing here, it comes out so you can screw it in, and then it pushes back down so your container's out of the way.
Yeah, that's the regulator.
Yeah.
Okay, screw the disposable gas supply cylinder clockwise into the portable heater until hand tight.
Okay.
Until hand tight?
That's hand tight, but it's got a couple of things showing. But
Okay.
I don't smell anything. I don't hear anything. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move this out to the shop so that we're not inside when we light this, just in case something crazy happens, just to be safe. So we're gonna do this outside in the snow. It's currently snowing, so that tells you how cold it is right now. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna turn this from off to pilot. So you gotta push down to get to pilot. And then you just push down.
One hour later.
We're gonna take a break and try to read the instructions again because for some reason I can't get it to light. All right, so we've been working on this thing for like 45 minutes. Can't get it to light. No luck tonight. We're gonna put it up and we will try again tomorrow night.
I'm glad we don't need it because we can't.
Like
use
if we
it.
needed it, like if the power would have went out yesterday, like they were saying when we had those rolling out, like we would have been messed over. Sometimes stuff just doesn't work out for you. So right now, not happy. We'll see what tomorrow night holds. See you guys.
10 seconds later.
I just told y'all I was about to give up, but I definitely had it cross-threaded. It was a pain in the butt to get straight, but I noticed that it was just one off, and I fixed it, and it went a lot further. Let's try lighting this thing and see what happens. One last try before midnight. All right, I definitely smell propane, don't you? Okay, let's try lighting it.
Yay!
Hey, there's a flame. Hold it for 30 seconds.
Look, it says then turn it up to half.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all saw that on the screen, but it kind of lit the whole thing there.
Then it's supposed to turn orange.
All right, we're doing good so far.
I'm still not happy with it because it was really difficult to thread on there correctly.
Yeah, it was like made where it was supposed to mess up, but I think we're gonna buy the conversion kit and buy the bigger tank so it'll even last longer, but there's definitely a strong propane smell, which I'm not a huge fan of, but apparently these tanks, they will last on low for 2 hours and high for low for 5 hours, high for 2 hours.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So right here, this is tolerable. Right up here, it almost burned my hand just coming above it. So the heat goes straight up. I'm gonna give it a half a point back because it was partially the propane's fault, but the threading on there was already kind of jacked up. So I don't know. I'm gonna still knock it a half a point. Not user friendly. I think that's why everybody switched to the conversion kits because you just screwed in a lot easier on those things. But we might buy that and do another test later on. But right now we're gonna. Okay, this is getting warm. Let's turn it off. I'm starting to sweat. We have a heater in this place. We do not have that on and has not been on. It's 40 degrees in here right now. And we're not gonna be in here giving body heat off to make this place warmer. So we're gonna go outside or back into our house so we don't freeze to death because my wife is already hating this.
Well, we're gonna have this here because safety is our #1 priority. And we wanna make sure everything gets out of hand, that we can put our skills to use. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set these things up and we're gonna get that heater rolling.
Woo.
So one thing about this room that we are doing this in, this is actually our new studio / office. We're gonna be starting to film our projects out here. As you can see, we're got everything pushed to the middle because we're gonna be doing the walls here pretty soon. So that's what this room is for, if y'all were wondering. So hopefully we'll be getting legit with this pretty soon.
All right, so this is our setup. We got our camera, we got everything else, got our timer there. We're at 3 minutes right now. We are walking out. This is my desk. Hello, desk. There's our office.
I'm gonna shut her.
Hey, there's our snowman too. It snowed today. Look at our beautiful office.
It has been 48 minutes and it has gone up 18 degrees. So I'm super impressed with that. And what's great about this thing is whenever you stand over it and just put your hands above it, you're gonna get warmer. It's probably, if we set the thing right next to it, it's really nice. So you could stay warm in a cold area really easily.
So I think for my craft shows, I think that it would work very well if I had to be outside during the cold.
Yeah, you can easily put your hands above it. I think, honestly, high was too hot to hold your hands above it. So if you turned it on low, you got 5 hours of constant heat. Supposedly, we haven't ran for 5 hours straight, but just quick, right off the gate, pretty good.
I mean, minus the whole, like, not wanting to thread thing. And it's not like, we tried to get it to thread correctly. It's just, it would not thread correctly.
Yeah.
So it's not user-friendly in that sense, but once we got it on there the right way, it went just fine.
Yeah. So I would say something like this, probably definitely worth it. This one exactly, I would say it's good, especially with the deal that's going on right now for it. Links in description.
It being like $140 and now it's $74, I feel like that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So,
And honestly, let me check right here real quick. So I'm gonna pull up my phone. It is 27 degrees outside. So 27 degrees outside and a building that has no heat on, it turned it to 48. I think that's pretty awesome.
yeah, that's
So
that's respectable. I would be cold in here, but I'm cold natured.
Yeah.
But it does knock the chill off, and we could survive.
Yeah.
We wouldn't freeze to death out here,
right.
which that's all that matters really in an emergency situation.
Right, so I say get something like this. I would probably go with the other tank, the larger tank, so that you can put a bigger tank and it lasts for longer on there.
And you probably wouldn't have the cross threading issue because
Yeah.
it's a hose that goes into
Yeah,
it.
the hose, yeah. I would definitely go that route. If you did purchase one of these, they sell the cords separately. You would just have to buy that. So I don't know if you can get it from Walmart, but you can order it online. Is it worth it?
I'd say it's worth it once you
Worth
figure out
it.
how to use it.
Yeah. There was a learning curve. Literally took us an hour to get it set up, but I think that was kind of user error plus not completely user friendly. So I would say worth it.
4.75.
4.7 out of 10.
Oh, out of 5.
Oh, out of 10. We're going out of 10.
Oh, out of 10, probably a 9.25.
I'm gonna go with an 8.1. 8.1 because it was very frustrating not being able to thread that right. Whenever I was looking at it and it looked right, and then I would tighten it with my hand, it would be perfect. It has to go all the way past the threads. So if the threads are hanging out at all, then it's not right. So that's just a little pointer for you. 49 degrees. We're almost at 50 degrees.
I mean, I'm happy. I
Within an
wasn't
hour.
expecting to come out here and it be 80 degrees. It started out at 40. I was hoping for
Yep.
like at least a 10 to 15 degree bump.
Yep.
And it's not even been an hour and it's almost 10 degree bump. So I'm okay with that. I know that it'll increase from this point. So I think that it does what it's intended to do. It's knocked the chill off. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it.
That's it, the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Like we said, we got the shirts. Do it to it. Thank you so much for liking this channel. We're blown away by the support we've had so far, and we're really excited to see where this channel takes off, especially once we get this
All
space
situated.
worked
It's
out.
gonna look so cool, you guys. If everything that what we want to happen happens, it's gonna look really nice.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you guys on the next episode.